Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the case may be. Ben Dubai, that message especially for you who are it's 11 p.m. outside. How are we? How you doing, my friend? Going straight to you first.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Bit of good news. So, still awake anyway. So, thanks for having me on again, lad.
I was going to say, Ben, you know what? Because all these announcements are always like, you got to bloody stay awake, innit? Because you probably miss all the, the 9 o'clock news, the 8 o'clock breaking news, whatever. It's the timing's a bit rough for you, innit, when you're out there.
Yeah, well, I know we went a bit early, but I missed the fucking here we go for Vert off of the man, all that. So, wasn't the greatest thing. Then
Never
I seen
mind.
all the carnage of the journalists moaning about him as well in the morning, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, exactly. You're also the first one to get the news because that's the morning for you as well. So yeah, it's give and take. Lewis is in the building, Beyond the Cop, as you can see under his title. Bloody hell, Lewis is working hard these days overtime. But apparently you're going to be working even harder, son, because you have some good news to share with us.
I mean, we beat Stoke 5-0. That's good news. Just no, I'm joking. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got engaged on Sunday, so happy. It's been a good few days. I'm hitched. That's it for life now, and I know that my fiance is watching this, so hi, babe. No, doing good. We've signed Ekitike. We're linked with everyone under the sun. It's been an amazing few days. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me on again. And yeah, let's just continue to assert ourselves at the top of the league.
Excellent. And we've got Scousemo and Welshmo today. Put them together. Scousemo, how are we, lad?
Good. I'm good. Everyone's top spirit's today, man. How can we not be? Like, the Reds are just absolutely bossing this transfer window. Man, what a time to be alive. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, bro.
Good. And we got Welshmo in the building as well. Welshmo, look at that. Bloody hell, proper combed your hair for the show today, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a slip back today.
Bloody hell, the Welsh Sabozalai right there, man. What's going on there?
So I literally just got out of the shower about 10 minutes ago. That's what it is. Yeah, buzzing. We all love signings, don't we? So I'm getting greedy now. I'm like, what's the next one? So yeah, bring me the next one. Who's next?
Exactly. It's mad, isn't it? It's brilliant. I know. Look, I'm going to come to you, Ben, first. And by the way, people, thank you very much. I know I went into the introduction straight away, but I'm a bit giddy. I'm giddy being a Liverpool fan right now, and it's being a Red. And why not? It's as Lewis said, and they've said, what a time to be alive. What a time to be a Red. And brace yourselves, guys. We ain't done yet. We ain't finished yet. We're going to get into everything that you guys want to speak about. I have an agenda. I have a type of an agenda. I don't know if we're going to stick to it. See how we feel. See how we go. Have a few rows. Agree on a few bits. Disagree on a few bits, because that's what we are. I'm trying to. You know what I'm trying to do with this show, lads? And these lads that people know. People that are not accustomed to the Red Room. This ain't one of you. We sit there and we talk about. Yeah, great sign. Yeah, great signing. Yeah. I want to take the opinions, the rows, the disagreements on Twitter. I want to bring it to you guys on the YouTube. So throw in your comments. FSG in, FSG out, Ekitike in, Isak, where are you? Anything you want to talk about, throw it in there and we'll talk about it. Ben, every transfer window for the last bloody God knows how many years, we're sat there twiddling our thumbs, thinking, what are we going to do next? Are we going to do anything? Fuck. We start swearing, effing blood in frustration. This has been a total opposite. We have now today officially confirmed our fourth signing of the window. Hugo Ekitike. Hugo is going to be boss, isn't he, lad?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Look, he's still got plenty to learn. But he's gone to the right manager, hasn't he? You know, a manager that likes to get his hands on people and, see how they get on. It was much needed, wasn't it? Obviously the pass and the Jota left us short, so we definitely need to make sure we get someone in there. Be interested to see what goes on with the front line now, but I am excited, mate. His stats are showing really good. Let's see. It's an interesting one. Obviously, they don't have too much data on him because he's only really had one proper full year, hasn't he? But I mean, it's impressive. And look, if you've got Florian Wirtz, Salah, obviously Díaz is still there with Gakpo. Can't really fail much, can he? Do you know what I mean? So there's no better people to learn. And I think the way we're going to set up this year, Wirtz will be pinning teams in. It's perfect for him. I expect him to get a fair few goals, and let's hope he gets off to a flyer. I'm hoping to see him on the weekends if we can get him there quick. It looks like he's probably flying now. Might get him in the second half for a couple of minutes. You never know.
Yeah, that's key. You know that. I'm very happy that it's been reported that get a few minutes in the weekend, because the quicker we can integrate these new players, and obviously the other three have been there for a little while now, and from the inside training videos and clips and whatever, all the social media clips, it looks like they're proper getting involved, and I love it. You got a fan here you paid off before the show. He says, "Big up, Ben."
See him on our shows all the time. He's like the boss of the comments.
By the way, I've bigged up Lewis's channel. Make sure you guys head over to Ben's channel as well. Tell him what it's called again and where you can find it. Born and Ready, isn't it? Born and Ready or something?
Red or Alive.
Red or Alive. That's the one. Red
It's
or
class.
Alive. Go and check it out, people. Red or Alive. And make sure you're following all these good people in the building that we have today. What's his name? He says, did Paul Joyce say we retain an interest in on his write-up on the Times? He did indeed. We're going to get into that as well. Adam says, Rodrygo eliminated himself with 400 week demands. It's Isak or Fofana from here on out. People are throwing in. People want to know what's going on, what's next. But slowly but surely, Lewis, this was always going to be a window of phases, wasn't it? The initial phase of do what we have to do in terms of the absolute crucial positions. And they've pretty much done now. Striker and the two fullbacks. I think it's fair to say Wirtz was just the superstar signing of the summer so far. Now we've got to be a bit patient, because the ending is always important, and the ending that we are attempting, I believe, it's going to take patience and a bit of what's the word? Yeah, just patience. I guess that's the best word, because if we end up with what we're trying to do, this is going to be one for the ages, isn't it?
Oh, mate, this is already one. This is up there with 99. This is up there with 18-19. Like, this is up there with the best transfer windows, not just for us, in the Premier League as a whole. Like, this is top tier. And I think you're right. And I think now the approach is going to be a bit more, I think, of what we've seen of Liverpool in the past. I know there's reports saying that we've still got another 300 million to spend. But I think that the rest of this window now is going to be dependent on who leaves. If Díaz does get that move away, we'll move for a winger. If Nunez does leave, we can see more additions to the attack and options. And I'm prepared for that now. As much as I'd like to see us go out and bring in this player and this player, I still think we're short at centre-back, absolutely. I still think we could maybe do with another number 6, potentially as a rotation option. But I do expect us to slow down ever so slightly, assess where we are in these pre-season games. What can we do to benefit Ekitike more? Is there a lack of depth for centre-back? They'll react to what happens in these next few matches. And we'd love to live in a world, I think, where we're like a Chelsea, where we can go out and spend 600 million, 700 million a window and get away with the laws of the land. That's not going to be the case. And this few weeks now, it's going to slow down. But given the track record of what we've seen from Hughes so far, given the track record of everything we've seen this past few weeks, I will have full faith in this club, even if we do come to a little bit of a standstill and then get the targets that we're after, like a Gahey or a Fofana, or be it a Rodrygo, if that's your flavour of the week. So all in all, mate, very happy, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, there's a sense of excitement, isn't it? Scousemo, we've, as I said, we needed a little bit of a break. And now we're back, and now we literally want to see them play football, because it's exciting. As someone said there, where was it? Scotty John says it's great to see Slot building Liverpool 2.0. This is definitely Liverpool 2.0, isn't it, Mo?
This is definitely Liverpool 2.0. And you know what? Slot told us towards the end of the season that we're going to be very busy in the summer and we're going to strengthen in the summer. And so far we have. Obviously, we've signed 4 players. For 3 of them, we kind of expected in those positions that we will sign. Wirtz, as you mentioned before, is like the outline. He's the superstar player. And as Lou was just saying, we're far from done. We still need the centre-back, potentially another attacker, depending on who moves, who stays. But yeah, this is definitely Slot 2.0. And this pre-season is going to be very telling as well, because last season when he obviously joined the Reds, it was during the Euros and also Copa America. Half the squad wasn't there. So he was playing with different players in different positions. I don't think he had the majority of the players, like the Netherlands players, the Holland players, the Argentinian players, like McAllister, for example. They didn't join the squad until very late in pre-season. But this time around, all the players are there. All the techniques that he wants to implement for new season, he's going to be pushing it onto the players, from weeks ago, like as soon as we started preseason, like 2 weeks ago or so. So it's going to be very, very, very exciting to see what plans he has in place for this Liverpool 2.0. More players will be signing as well. It's just such an exciting time to be a Liverpool fan. And you just mentioned, like, it's been a while since I haven't watched no football. I didn't pay no attention to that Club World Cup board and stuff. So like I'm literally gagging to watch some football. So personally, I'm looking forward to watching us against AC Milan on Saturday just to see what's going on. Oh, what a time to be alive, honestly.
Just for laughs, says we haven't signed 4, we've signed 6, and he corrects me, and he's absolutely 2 keepers, lads. And one of them looks. Well, we don't know much about the second one, but we know Mamadashvili looks like an absolute beast. So he's absolutely right. That's 6 players. Mo, Welsh Mo, same question to you. Excited, ready to see them? I know you take I know you wanted to speak about the training session, but I blocked you. You're literally like you really want to get into sort of.
Just excited to see them play. Yeah, definitely.
I know.
Like someone mentioned in the chat earlier, but oh yeah, like what can I say? What can I add on that hasn't been said already? I think the last time I remember being a Liverpool fan and we signed 6 or more players was
when was it, guys? By the way.
Roy Hodgson window. I'm pretty sure it is.
14, 15. I think we signed 6.
How many did we get 6 in 14, 15?
Lovren, Lallana, Lambert, Balotelli, Markovic, and Emre Can.
Lads, stop that list. Stop that list. Oh my God.
I had a different list lined up for you guys. The Roy Hodgson list. You want to hear that one?
Go on.
Joe Cole, Danny Wilson, Fabio Aurelio, Christian Poulsen, Paul Konchesky, Brad Jones, and Raul Moriles. We've come a long way, man. We've come a long way.
Just pretty well.
I'm sure that was around that time.
But check this out, guys. That list of names, right? That manager, and guess what? We still weren't as crap as Man United are now.
Well, we didn't finish 15th with that team.
No, we've never look. That is a horrific list of players, and that's a horrific coach right there. And we still didn't finish below Man United.
But, yeah, like as Lewis said, the last time I remember was back then, but obviously I've been corrected. 2016. So it's been a good 10 years, almost 10 years since we've had. Every year we've heard, oh, we've got a war chest, we've got a war chest, we're going to spend X amount, and it never materializes. And now it has. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to do it myself. We've opened up that trunk and we're splashing out the cash.
But I guess, but do you know what it is, guys? And I want to get your opinions on this, right? And we all have, and I know all of you guys for a little while now, and I know I know all your guys' thoughts on the ownership and the way we've been handling our business on and off the pitch, right? And we slaughter them when we have to because they need to be slaughtered because. We're a huge club. And I want to come to Ben first because me and Ben have had so many twos and fros in private as well about how they operate and how they, we're Liverpool Football Club. Why are we acting like, West Ham or whatever? Do you know what I mean? We're massive. We're huge. But it seems like their plan and the way they've executed it in the last 2 years, Ben, we've got to give them their praise, right?
Yeah, you do. Look, you praise them when they do well and you criticise them when they don't. They have made mistakes, as simple as that. Just because they've spent money doesn't mean, they've done everything perfect because, they haven't. Do you know what I mean? They have made mistakes. But, I understand what they've done. This time they're not leaving any stone unturned, are they? And they shouldn't either, especially with Michael Edwards come back. They had to back the manager. I think they gambled a bit last year. I can understand why. The hierarchy came back in, Julian Ward and Edwards. Obviously, they recruited a new sporting director. They walked into a shit show. Let's make no mistake about it. They needed to sort them contracts out. So they tried for players. Ultimately, it didn't all work out. Look, they've gone and won the league, mate, and they brought the manager in. People don't understand it. I was getting pissed off with some of our fans. They were criticising the people working at the club, saying, where's the signings, blah, blah, blah. You've got to remember, they brought in managers, backroom staff. They've sorted contracts. They've brought players. They got a goalkeeper. They got Chiesa. They nearly had Zubimendi. A lot of shit's gone on in the background, and you can't underestimate the work that they've done. But this comes from the owners, isn't it? We all criticise United, saying it's like a cancer within that club. It comes from the top down. But success comes from the top down as well. And I think they've changed their stance slightly. I think the revenues have helped. I think you can see they've changed sponsorship deals a lot. They've upped the ante big star for Liverpool, and now you're reaping the rewards. Ultimately, they've got major, assets to sell as well. So they're going to play the game as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy for them. As soon as I seen John on the parade coach, I thought the first time I've seen him looking like he's enjoying Liverpool, and I was happy for him. He deserves it because he's took a lot of shit. I've given him a lot of crap. Do you know what I mean? But take me hat off to him. I can't complain at the minute, and we're looking at serious outfit from top to bottom, and I'm so pleased. I'm excited. It's not over yet, but let's see what happens.
Hassan says Arnie Slot spelled out exactly where he saw Ekitike fitting in Anfield as a dynamic number 9, capable of bursting in behind, but also dropping deeper and linking play with when needed. I know, Luis, you do quite a few videos and reviews on players and sort of tactically, and as I said, people go and check out Beyond the Cop as well for some more detail on how Luis breaks it down. But look, you may have watched Ekitike loads and loads and loads before we signed him. I'm going to admit I hadn't. I'd seen the odd brief clip, obviously, with Frankfurt, and especially with them playing Europa League football against Spurs, etc., etc. Have you done any more homework and research since? And do you agree with and how do you see him fitting in? Because today, obviously, is officially now, so it's only fair we really focus on him for a few minutes.
Yeah, so me and Chris from Redmen did something on it the other day where we were talking about, with Ekitike, he's very much someone who, he is your out-and-out number 9 who likes to burst into space, but he's a creative maestro in the front line. Like, in Europe's top 5 competitions, the top 5 leagues, including the Champions League, the Europa League and Conference League, he's in the top 7% for passes into the penalty area, top 13% for crosses into the penalty area. He's in the top 5% for key passes, progressive passes in the top 23%. He's a very versatile player in the sense of you can rely on him to come deep. I think in terms of key contributions last season, he registered 44, which is double what Nunez and Jota got combined. He is someone who can contribute to the likes of Salah and Gakpo, but he's also someone who bursts into space. He's great playing on the blind side of defenders. He's capable of playing against the back 3 and a back 4. But he's also someone as well who doesn't shirk against the big teams. Last season, he scored against Bayern Munich, RB Leipzig, Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen, Tottenham in the Europa League. He was a key component, a big list, and he also registered the most shots in the Bundesliga, 5 more than Harry Kane. So you can see the level of player of which he's on, and I think we're signing someone who, if we do decide to go 2 at the top with Isak, he will benefit because of what we saw him do with Omar Mamouche. If we need him who can play out wide, he's capable of doing it because he's got incredible pace and versatility on him. The only red flags that you can find is he scored 15 goals, but he had an XG of 21.9. And I think XG is a sort of take it with a pinch of salt. But the chances he misses, he can miss quite a few simple chances, and that's something that Nunez does get a lot of criticism for. He is someone who can miss the occasional sitter, the occasional one-on-one. But overall, we're signing someone who's capable in the air, capable of playing as a false 9, amazing at getting in behind, capable of passing the ball and distributing it out wide like we've seen Slot wants to do. And all in all, for the price that we've got of him, for the way he will fit into this system, we've signed someone on a 6-year contract who could become a long-term solution to that front line. I'm so excited to see what we get because we've signed one of the most sought-after European commodities in Hugo Ekitike, and we've beat clubs like Newcastle and Man United, and I know Bayern were supposedly linked to him at one point. It's huge for us, and I'm so excited to see what he does. This is an incredible signing for us, both tactically and in terms of cementing ourselves back at the top of the league where we deserve to be. 21, 22, 23, they're all coming sooner rather than later, I'm telling you now.
Scousemo, what do you know about this player? Excited about him? I like his style. People are calling him Baby Isak. I get the similarities. I absolutely do. People are going to say they're not similar. Trust me, I think they're very, very similar. I'm surprised about Lewis's stat about crosses into the box. So that means he does tend to go out wide. And we do like our forwards being versatile and fluid. I didn't know about that. He's a crosser of the ball as well. Obviously, we want him at the end of the crosses because he's 6'4", lads, 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
6'2.5".
6'2.5". He was described to me by someone as a 6-foot+ gazelle. And that's I like the sound of that, Mo.
I mean, kind of in the same boat as you, Grizz. I didn't really see too much of him. I didn't watch too much of Frankfurt. But obviously, when we were linked with the player, I thought, let me do my due diligence and look into the player a little bit. At first, it could be crazy, but I kind of got like Gakpo vibes from him. I don't know why. Maybe the way he's like his body type and stuff, and the way he runs, maybe, which I'm not saying is a bad thing at all. From what I've seen from him so far, it really does back up what Lewis has described, and it's what some of the reports are describing today. He's very versatile as a forward. He's got very good quick feet. He changes direction really fast as well. He can drop deep, and he can also go in behind. Excellent link-up play. I feel like the link-up play that he's going to create with Salah, with Wirtz, with whoever the left winger is going to be, let that be Luis Diaz, is going to be stupendous. But then on top of that, I've noticed quite a lot that he likes to drift out to the left-hand side a lot. And I think that's going to also benefit us quite a bit for the upcoming season, because you've got Wirtz as well, who likes to go into that space, into that area. So if you've got those two players that can interlink and rotate with each other into like the striker position, into the left half space position, and whoever the left winger is, that left-hand side is going to be dangerous, and opposition teams are going to have to focus on that left-hand side a lot. But then guess what? Who's on the right-hand side? The king, the GOAT. So it's just going to be fantastic to see. A couple of weeks ago when we were first linked with him and we had these discussions, I wasn't the biggest fan. I didn't really want to get Ekitike because I just thought I want to get someone who's ready to go right now, like a Isak, like a Alvarez. But for some reason, which I can't explain, Isak links are just not going away. They're still there. There's reports that we potentially might still sign him. I don't know I don't know how it's gonna work. How does that mean Ekitike is gonna be like on the bench and rotate with Isak? Isaac's gonna be a starting striker. Wow, like this is my club. This is our club, boys. This is mad. We've just signed the play for 70 mil, and yet in the striker position, and now we're looking to sign another striker in the same summer for 130, 140 mil. This can't be my club. This is crazy.
This can't be my club.
This can't be my club. Like, what is going on? This is amazing. Like, whoa.
But do you know what it is? And I'm going to come to you, Welshmo. I get that, right? But it is needed, isn't it? Because we're not overloading. We're not doing the Chelsea one where we're just buying willy-nilly with no structure, with no thought pattern. We're not doing a United just buying the biggest name out there and just putting them in their squad with no instructions or methodology into how we're going to implement them. Every single player we've bought so far, guys, means something, and we know exactly how they're going to play or where they're going to fit in. But the key question now is, and Mo's touched on it, Scouse Mo's touched on it, I want you to elaborate and give your thoughts on it. I've claimed that Isak and Ekitike are pretty much the same, similar style. But why can't we have them in the squad? And do you not see it? Would you rather buy another 2 wide forwards to replace? Because let's break it down, guys, between us. Are we all still adamant? And let me know if you're not agreeing with me. Let me know. Because, you might not agree. Are we all adamant Nunes is still gone? Ben?
Yeah.
Depends if they get the money.
Lewis?
Yes, if Saudi are the ones coming in because they can stump up the money for him.
And 2 Mo's?
Same. If they can get the money, the asking price, which is 70 million, I think. If they can get that, he's out the door.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there's going to be any arguments about Chiesa.
Yeah.
And obviously we've had the tragedy of Jota. So what I want to do is, that's 3 possible shortcomings, right? However you want to look at it. And then you got the Luis Diaz dilemma. So I want to come to the Luis Diaz dilemma, the weekly Luis Diaz dilemma. Welshmo, I beg your pardon. Luis Diaz scenario. The scenario we face is we're not prepared to give him a new contract. He wants a new contract. In my opinion, he doesn't want to go. He preferred to stay, but if we're not going to give him a deal, he's saying, let me go. Liverpool are saying, we'll let you go if we receive X amount. Where do you stand on this whole situation scenario? How do you deal with this if you're the ownership? And how do you react if you're a player in this situation?
It's a tricky one because part of me wants to keep Luis Diaz and part of me feels sorry for him if we're ready to believe that he's on the kind of wage he is on.
Forget that he's not on that wages. No, he's not.
Yeah.
So scrap that, everyone.
Okay, so, but the other half of me is thinking, okay, think it with your business head on. You know, he's 28. If we give him a contract for another 2-3 years and double his wages or whatever, it'll take him to 31. Where is actually the sell-on value there? Now, let's remember, I think we bought Diaz for, 35 million? Is around that sweet spot mark, wouldn't it? 35 million, I think, If someone says to you, like, you can get 70 million back to go and reinvest elsewhere, then I'd probably take that if that option is available, if it's a Rodrygo or a Malik Fofana, so to give 2 examples. I agree with you. I don't think he wants to leave. I think quite a lot of the players like him, and there's a chemistry there you can see on the training videos, and there's a character there. But again, the other side of me says he's been twerking for a leave after the first year he joined Liverpool, and that's always in the back of our heads,
But has he though, guys? This is what I want to bring.
Not him, probably his dad more than anything. But
who gives a shit about his dad ultimately, guys? The player has given his blood, sweat, and tears for our club. Right? I honestly, God, I couldn't give 2 shits about his dad. Right, his dad can be the biggest partier, dancing on the sidelines, doing what he's got to do, making noises. I'm looking at the commitment of the player, guys. Well, have we got an issue? Have we got an issue with the commitment and the desire of the player?
No, I don't think so, because he was our second top scorer last year. That says it all.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's no desire on work rate. You can see he's still turning up to training. He's still giving us all when he's on the pitch.
He's one of the hardest working attackers in world football, guys.
Yeah, and without Nunes being in the team, which has been quite frequently in the last 10, 15 games, he starts the press off, Diaz does. So he's very important from that perspective, if we're playing that pressing game. Obviously, I think our game's going to change a little bit because last year we had most possession. I think only Man City had more possession than us. So we're very possession focused. And hence we're getting players like Ekitike and hopefully Isak, who are better against low block teams, who can find spaces against low block teams, because we didn't have that opportunity to play past the defenders or through the defenders for Nunes, who likes running onto balls. So our game's gonna change. But Diaz, I think his versatility is another thing that we need to touch on, because like you said, we've lost, and we've come short on a few forward players there. If we don't get the people we want to get remaining in the market, is it wise to let go of Diaz with his versatility? So it's a tricky one. It really is. I'm sitting I'm sitting somewhere where if he goes for 70 odd million and we reinvest that, I'll be happy with that. If he stays and puts in another 15 goals a season, I'll be happy with that. It's one of them ones. That's for me personally. I don't know what you guys think.
Ben, it's true, and it is a tricky one. I keep changing my mind on it. And I think I ended up agreeing with Roshmo about I'm happy with any outcome,
I also don't want anyone at the club who doesn't want to be there. And he's wanted to go for a while, do you know what I mean? He's a good player. I like Díaz, don't get me wrong. I do like Díaz. But he's not acted the greatest this summer, has he? Let's be honest. If they get 70 million, I'd be shocked if they didn't take that. I really would be shocked, because I'm at the point now. I also think that Liverpool aren't really looking great in this situation, because you can't just keep him if he wants to go. And you can't say you're not going to give him a deal. So if you're keeping him, give him a deal then. Because what the fuck are you keeping him for? Just pointless, because if you're turning down...
What do you think the thinking is behind that, guys? Let's just focus on that one. Why don't we want to...
play though, don't they, that they just try and take advantage of and be forceful with it? I actually don't think they like the way it's carried on in the background, to be fair.
But then sell him then, Ben. But then sell him then.
Well, they're waiting for the right offer.
So apparently the deal. So I went back to Fabrizio's tweet from when we signed him, and apparently the deal was £40 million. But then after 5 years, we have to pay another 20 million to Porto. So supposedly we've been waiting to cover the cost of that. That's why we've been trying to ramp the price up so high with buying.
Oh, interesting.
I honestly, God, I often know the plan and you can see the vision. But if that's the case, Ben, why are we adamant that we want X number for him? If we don't rate him enough, or we don't, I don't know about respect. You know the word I'm trying to look for, like value. If we don't value him enough to give him a new deal, right? Because he's not old, 28. I know we don't like giving old
weird category though, Grizz, doesn't he? He's not a valuable asset to the club really, because they'll all want 4-year deals. So that takes him to 32. He's 29 this year.
Then why are we wanting 70 million for him, Ben? This is what
I think 80 million is a good number for him personally. Because if you look at the players that have left, pardon me, Madweki, all these, we've now got a price above them, and I think that's fair. If they were offering the silly prices that they have done, like even the similar thing with Nunes, 42 million, what fucking planet is Napoli on, for instance? I think 70 is about right. Because if we keep him, I just don't understand that from the club. I personally don't, because we can literally go and find someone with that money, and we can utilise their terms. I think they will take it, but if they didn't, I'd be gobsmacked and I wouldn't understand what the club are doing. Because you know what? He's a cracking player on his day. He works hard. But I think if we force him to stay, we ain't going to start seeing that as much anymore, because he's going to be getting pissed off with Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't think we should force him to stay, Lou. What's your verdict, and how are you going to deal with this? And very briefly, I want you to give me the sort of the few different viewpoints from the ownership, what they're trying to do here. Coach, I think the coach is a fan. I think Slot really likes Diaz, guys. Don't know what you guys think. I think he really wants him to stay. I disagree with Ben. I don't think he wants out as his first choice. I think his first choice is give me a deal, but we're not going to give him a deal. That's very apparent. So what's going on here?
Well, he said, I'd prefer to stay, but if the deal comes in and I'm not being offered a new contract, then let me go. And, like, you know, if the plan wasn't to give him a new deal, like Ben said, what's the point in keeping him? We're not going to up his wages. He's going to be 30 soon. We're not going to give a long-term deal to him. Like, the fact that we gave Salah and Van Dijk one is a miracle, because in our minds, we were all convinced this isn't what the club do. They don't give contracts this big to players of that age. Diaz is a talented player, and I agree with you. I do think Slot likes him because he gives you that extra layer of versatility, capable of playing through the middle, capable of playing either wing. He had very good purple patches last season, but he does have big dips in form. He went 6 matches without contributing midway through the season. Before that, he had 1 assist and then 3 matches off, 1 assist, 3 matches off. I think if we're trying to ramp up the price to cover the full cost, just do it now, because Bayern have said that this is going to be the last offer that we give, and maybe the ownership are just trying to haggle like they've done in the past 1 billion times with Benteke and Ibe and Solanke, etc. But we can't keep pushing it. You keep pushing your luck, eventually they're going to go, you know what, we're not interested, and then no one is going to come in for that money. If Diaz doesn't want to be there, no one else is going to bid that money unless it's Saudi. If Diaz doesn't want to be there, if Diaz does not want to be at the club anymore, I 100% agree with Ben, get shot, because I don't want people who aren't interested in being at the club. If his role is to stay, if he decides, I want to stay, give me a new deal, fine. But if he's not getting the new deal, flog him for a high price, use that money to invest in a centre-back and a Fofana, if that's what your role is.
Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've got a history, and I'm going to come to you, Scousman. I don't think we've got a history of keeping unhappy players. We normally get rid, like Coutinho, for example. That's the best example, isn't it? We didn't want to be at the club, and we said, all right, fair enough. When Barca give us that money, off you pop. I don't think we like keeping unhappy players. That's why I think if we keep him, he won't be unhappy. But what do you do in this situation? Have you changed your mind to and fro? Or are you still adamant? Have you got one viewpoint?
No, I can't disagree with anything the lads have said so far. But the one thing I was going to ask is, why do you think he's unhappy? Because from these videos that we're seeing in training so far, he looks like he's happy. He looks like he's in a good place.
It's the money.
It's the money, of course, but like, didn't you just say, like, let's not talk about the wage because his wage is a lot higher than what's being reported of like 70?
But it's not a patch on what he deserves. And I'm normally, wherever the nerds agree and management, I'm always pro nerds and management because they know what the F they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. But even I'm saying Diaz deserves more from what he's put in. For me, that's just my personal opinion. You guys can disagree if you want.
I mean, I got to disagree with that, to be honest, because going off what Lou just said, he does have purple patches, but then he also has long stretches within the season where he is just ineffective, pretty much. He won't score, he won't assist. Although he's a pressing demon, then he's everywhere, and he gives 100% every time he's on that pitch, which is amazing. That shouldn't equate to him earning 250k plus for 4 years until he's 50.
No, I get that. Yeah,
I don't think that should ever be the case. Like the guy himself, like Luis Diaz, do you know what my thoughts are on Luis Diaz for so many years now? Like, I think he is a good player, but he's not a great player. He's not someone that you're going to be like very upset about if he leaves. And there's definitely options out there that are available that we can replace him with. Younger, cheaper options that have got much higher ceiling, who can impact this team a lot better. That's my personal opinion. And the thing is, the guys have already touched on this, so I'm just echoing their thoughts again. Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, the board, they drive a very hard bargain. We've seen it before. We've reset a valuation for Luis Diaz with that being £70 million. We're getting that £70 million, or we're not selling them. It's as simple as that. And there's reports that already came out that said, well, we'll get the valuation that we want this summer. If we can't, then we can just run down the contract and then he can leave on a free at the end of, is it 2 years he's got left on his contract? I think. Yeah. So in 2 years' time, he can just leave on a free, which is quite ruthless. Not something that we usually do because we usually do cashing on our assets. It's just been this summer has just been completely different, the way we've approached transfers and stuff. The question I was going to ask the lads and everybody else is, if Diaz does leave and Núñez does leave as well, as we've kind of agreed them to have left, and of course what happened to Jota with the unfortunate situation there, and Chiesa as well, that would technically leave us right now with 3 players. So what is the ideal number of attackers that you would want in the squad for next season? So last season,
this is where I was going to segue into this next part. So if we decided, and I think we all agree, that if we reach a certain point figure-wise, we have to let Diaz go, right? So we all agree with that. And someone said world-class. I think you just said there that, he's not world-class. Now I want to know, so who's your replacements? Because you need a high-level operator. I think Luis Diaz is a high-level operator, again, just my opinion. So this is where we go. Before we go further, guys, there's probably in total on all platforms close to 6,000 people watching this stream. You guys are mad. I told you this show is going to kick off and it's going to blow up. It's about 600-700 on YouTube, 5,000 on Twitter. And as I said, I don't even know Facebook because I've stopped using Facebook about years ago. My account got banned for stalking. But I'm joking. Don't go there, Grizz. What next then? And I want to come to you, Welsh Mofos. I want you to give me your options in your head. Because today, Jimbo, Bad News Pierce, has come out and said, all talk of Rodrygo, and I'm paraphrasing, all talk of Rodrygo is a bit premature. There's not many links or talks at the moment. Or have you got anyone else in mind? Of course, we have Malik Fofana mentioned, who's a younger, inexperienced, sort of potentially world-class player. I don't think not on Luis Diaz's level yet closely. Or we got Gordon, who's a bit splits opinion. Where do you want to go with this? What's the plan next then? Because I think we've all voted out Diaz. I haven't, but hey, who cares? That's just me. I've been outvoted. We've voted out Diaz. What's next?
I think first part of that question, I think ideal number in my head is having 5 to 6 attackers. So okay, we got Gakpo, Salah, Ekitike. They're 3. I think Slot wants 2 people, I read, in every position, 2 very high quality people. So let's just say in a crazy world that we live in right now, that we do get Isak. Okay. So we got Isak, Ekitike, Salah, and Gakpo. If we do get Isak, hypothetical thing 1, then I would add just 1 more versatile winger, someone who can play left or right. It doesn't have to be a banger. A Malik Fofana or a project will do. But someone who's versatile enough to cover, well, left mainly, because let's all be honest. I think Frimpong's going to cover Salah whilst he's away on African duty. And the way Bradley's started as well, I think you'll see a lot of Frimpong coming on for Mo as well if he hasn't started the game. So that's my opinion there. So with that in mind, I think, let's just say we sign Isak. I think we only need 1 more versatile winger to cover the left. If we don't sign Isak, then I think we need potentially 2 more players that are either can play up front or play wing. So that's where I am in my head, if that makes sense.
No, that I agree with that. Anyone else want to chime in on that? Because I agree. I think Mohan, correct me if I'm wrong. What you're saying is if we get a banger and break the world record transfer fee for Isak, then we have to make do with a project winger stroke forward like a Malik Fofana. But if we don't, then we need to go big again and get someone certified to play on the wing, and then maybe go for a budget journeyman type striker. I'm just putting a name out there, Laka Mateta.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
As long as it's another banging winger though, because to replace Lucho, I'm telling you now, guys, it's not going to be easy. Go on, Mo. I think you want to come in.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely spot on, and it's so frustrating. James Pierce came out with he completely squashed the Rodrygo links, because for me, I thought that was the most perfect, the most sensible.
Okay, so you're fixed.
I was Team Rodrygo. Like honestly, I thought ship out Diaz and you invest that money in a young Rodrygo who's got vast amounts of experience and immense quality. Thought that would just be ideal and perfect. But obviously, he's poured water over it, and who knows whether that's actually going to happen now. The other point that I was going to mention, and I completely agree with Welshmo, the other option that we also have is the potential of Wirtz playing on the wing, potentially playing as a false nine.
What do you think about that one, guys?
I mean, it's an option. I'm not saying I don't think that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll probably see that come AFCON time a lot more than we will. Like,
I think he will be our creative attacking midfielder. Like he'll be our 10. But there is the versatility, the option of him playing left wing sometimes, maybe even as a false nine. But I completely agree with what Welshmo said. We'll need 5 or 6 attackers, depending on how big of a signing that we make. If it's Isak, then I understand we can get that project like a Malik Fofana. But if not, then Díaz leaves, Núñez leaves. We'll need to bring in someone big. And that's when I agree with you, Grizz, because if Rodrygo's off the table, there's not many suitable replacements for Díaz, honestly. There really isn't.
Not of that stature and that level. I mean, people have mentioned Rafael Leao, who's he's talented, but the most inconsistent, player you'll find.
Around the pitch.
He walks around the pitch. Ben, last season we went into the attack with obviously, rest his soul, Jota, Díaz, Núñez, Gakpo, Salah, Chiesa. 6. Now Chiesa, do we count him? So for example, let's not count him for now. That leaves 5. Obviously, we know Jota and as I said, Núñez and Díaz likely to go as well now. That leaves Gakpo and Salah and Ekitike. Ben, what you doing? This is what I was gonna say. This is what I love about you, son. You read my mind like an absolute.
Otherwise, what's the point of having them all?
Does Rio come into the equation?
He definitely does.
So then what do you do with the side? How many are you bringing in then?
Look, I think if Núñez is going, we have to bring in another forward. You can't just have Ekitike on his own, because this is the problem that we've got, isn't it? Like that's the $1 million question, Isak, isn't it? I think there's only 2 signings, in my opinion, that Liverpool could be looking to bring in one of them, Rodrygo or Isak, because if you're bringing in a young winger to replace Díaz with a young forward, you're asking for trouble. Because I'm sorry you are. Because that is a big thing. I'm on your side because he has his quality, honestly. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I want to run on the pitch and fucking slide tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Liverpool have to be smart about it. If you're replacing Díaz, the best like for like is Rodrygo. But I do agree. Rio's got to come into the fold, otherwise you can't have these kids. What's the point? The fact he's playing games now speaks volumes. And I think that's the reason why he took the move to Liverpool, because of the career path. You can see it now. So we've got to give him time to develop. And to be honest, by the looks of it, I think the manager will probably trust Rio more than bloody Chiesa.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I guarantee, guys, Rio gets more minutes this season than Chiesa got last season. Guaranteed. I think he plays in every single League Cup game.
And
for a start.
Rightly so. He's got talent. And, mate, I watched today that Arsenal game, and that Max Woodman?
Yeah.
What's his name? Dowman. Max Dowman.
Dowman.
He came on and he didn't look out of place. And I think Rio will be like that. He's not going to start league games, of course not. But I think it's important to have him in there now. I've seen people talking on loan and stuff. I wouldn't be doing that, because our players are better than most players in world football. We're a top 3 club. Him training with our lads, he's automatically going to become top draw. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Take the piss out of half the players and the training videos. You know what I mean? So. But this is the thing, if he's coming in, I see him only as one position in that front line now. He's only a left winger for me.
Yeah.
So it shows we have to bring in another number 9, in my opinion. Let's say, for instance, Liverpool don't get the money and they go in with Núñez. I think that's dangerous for Liverpool, Ekitike and Núñez. Because,
Is there a chance, lads? Are we thinking if
there
we
is a
don't?
chance, because if they don't pay, he stays. Simple as that. And I'm going to say this now, and it might come across different, but in the club's eyes, with the catastrophic event, losing Jota, God rest his soul, and then Trent going on a free, the club are down big money. This is probably why they're holding out for big money for Diaz and Nunes. Yeah, rightfully so. Money doesn't grow on trees. I'm seeing people saying just go and buy Isak and Rodrygo, and I'm like, Johnny's still around, you know what I mean? So we've got to be careful, but there's a reason why they're holding out for fees, because they still need to cover their asses, let's be real about it. But if they don't sign like an experienced number 9, for instance, or an experienced winger, it could be the downfall, because they've got to be careful.
Yeah.
People are getting a bit mixed up here. Joyce didn't say we're spending 300 million more, guys. Guys, come on, some of you, man. You guys know I can be very harsh when you make silly comments like that. I'm being nice to you lot today so far. Don't let me switch on you lot and tell how thick you are. Well, how did he say we're going to spend 300 million more? He didn't say that. Gosh, yeah, laugh about it now, Bob. Why don't you think about it?
One must be locked in a basement somewhere.
You know what I mean, Bob? What he said was we're going to continue. We're going to probably hit the 300 million mark, because how much have we spent, guys, so far today? Verts was how much? 100 odd, right? Frimpong was
35.
50.
Frimpong was 29.
So how much altogether?
Kirkes was 40. Verts is 100 and potentially 116, but let's just say it's 100, and then
100. So that's 179 between 3 players there.
Together.
And then
today,
what was it? Ekitike fee today?
70.
So 179, 180 had 70. It's 250. Just under 250 we spent.
Right. So what Joyce is alluding to is we're going to probably cross the 300 million mark in the summer, and that's what makes sense, guys. It doesn't make sense for us to spend another 300 million. Which effing planet you guys living on? But anyway,
can I throw something out there? I said something. I think one of the first shows we did, we were talking about transfers. I got ridiculed for this, so I'm going to bring it up again. I said, I said, in a crazy world, if we can't get the targets, is it worthwhile trying to get a cheeky loan? A striker in. And I mentioned Gonzalo Ramos, the PSG striker. And everybody laughed on the stream, But now, in the situation we're in now, would that be a crazy idea now?
No.
Well, it depends on the wide man you get, right? Because that coincides with, if we get a Rodrygo, then we're going to have to get a cheeky...
Like if we can't get Isak, I meant, and then a loan for a year, for example.
But we don't. The thing is, we don't really do loans, guys.
I know we don't. I'm just throwing it out there.
You do a cheap offer for Ollie Watkins.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I was going to mention is, look, if we're going to go down that route, I'd rather go down a route. Unfortunately to say it, which Man United have done, they've got proven Premiership scorers now. So who's left in the top scorer list that we can potentially look at? And Watkins probably is the only name that stands out,
I'd have Mateta. I won't lie.
Yeah, Mateta as well as the other one. Watkins and Mateta.
Yeah, but Palace won't be ripped off
Bullied
like that.
We want Gay as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and that's what we're going to come to now, guys. We've sorted out the attack. We've sorted out the rest of the team. It's imperative. There's absolutely no chance we do not bring in at least a defender. Possibly 2, but probably 1. First, I wanted to touch upon, I saw a picture today, guys, of Gomez and Van Dijk standing together again. Personally, I think we forget how good Joey Gomez is on his day when he's fully fit. Lou, my first dream would be, please God, give Joey Gomez a season of full fitness, because that goes a long way in deciding what kind of centre-back we bring in. Because as I've said, and I've said it off-stream and on-stream and in private, I expect Konate to stay. I expect Konate to extend. Not only just stay, but to extend and sign a new deal. If Konate and Van Dijk is our first choice and continues to be so, what happens next with Joey Gomez and what kind of defender we bring in? Of course, we're linked with Mark Gahey, but Mark Gahey is going to look to play a lot of games. Are we happy with that 4? Because that 4 is a foursome. Mark Gahey, Joey Gomez, Konate, and Virgil. Or do we go with a young Virgil van Dijk future replacement and bring him in now early? And hope Joey Gomez stays and Konate signs a new deal.
Yeah. Well, that's the big question is Ibu going to sign that contract? Because from what we've heard, it's not like he's asking for an astronomical amount. He's asking for 200k, which in today's game, I think for someone who put out the numbers he did last season, who was so key and so pivotal in us winning the league, I don't think it's outrageous. I don't think 200k is an awful decision, like amount to be given him. And Gomez, as much as I'd agree that he is someone who we'd love to see fit, the facts are it's not like he gets injured and they're small niggles. Every single season, it's major injuries, it's long-term things, and it's been like, 5-6 years since the Burnley injury. Since then, has he kicked on? Has he been able to keep full fitness for a long period of time? Not really. So I think we do need to go out and sign people who are a lot more assured. Mark Gahey being the key one, but Castello Luqueba as well from RB Leipzig. I think he'd be an amazing option to go for, not just in the air, but he's one of the best progressive centre-backs in European football at the moment. He fits slot style perfectly. But I 100% agree. We need people who are ready to come in, because there's no guarantee Konate is going to be here at the end of the season. There's no guarantee Gomez is going to stay fit. You need people who can not only come in and hope to be propped up by Van Dijk. We need winners in the back line. We need people who are ready to go, because we're not in a position now where we're hopeful that people are going to develop. We're Premier League champions. We're pushing for number 7. We're pushing for 21. You need winners in a back line. That's just changed the mainstay right back, potentially changed the mainstay left back. It's a whole different back four. You're going to need someone who's able to come in and hit the ground running, not a long-term project. So Luqueba or Mark Gahey, for me, it does just depend on Ibu. I'm sure I'm amazed you're as confident as you are, to be honest. Not in like a dig or anything, but I'm so pessimistic given what's gone on recently. Maybe I've sort of been swayed.
No, I hear it, but I'm very confident. Ibu stays and extends. But Mark Gahey's going to want minutes, Ben. Mark Gahey wants to come in and he's going to want to play. I think there is a deal to be done there. Is that where we're going then? Mark Gahey, is that the one that we need? Sort of, and how do you see him? Do you rate him?
Yeah, I think he's quality, mate. I think he's got things that Konate doesn't have. For one, he can lead. Look, Konate's an amazing 1v1 defender, but I think Mark Gahey coming in, he's not going to look out of place. I think people will underestimate the signing, but they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top player. He really is. And let's be honest, another one that Newcastle are about to go mad on. They put about 4 bids in for him last year, didn't they? Still couldn't get him. Wasn't he 80 million, 70 million or something?
70 million they bid for him,
yeah. Him coming into Liverpool, I genuinely think he would be a serious signing. Because, 100%. Liverpool are making changes within the squad, and rightfully so. We knew we always were. But he's a player that would go into the side. He could come into the side tomorrow and not look out of place. He's got the experience. In my opinion, right, let's say Joe Gomez was fit. Him and Gay are 2 of the best English centre-backs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's make no mistake about it. When Gomez is on his day, we know how good he is. He can play left back, right back. He just can't play in front. Do you know what I mean? But Mark Gay, mate, I think he would be Joe Gomez 2.0 for Liverpool.
Oh, that's a great shout. That is a great shout, because that is, I like that similarity. Scouse mode. Are you a Gahey fan?
Oh.
Because and Joe Gomez, there's no point selling Joe Gomez. Obviously, we've opted to sell Kwanzaa. Keep Joe Gomez with the experience, especially with the lack of senior players left in our squad now. If you think about it, Joe Gomez is a cert. Are you good with Mark Gahey? Obviously, guys, just breaking news now. Jarrell Hato, who was one of the options as well, he's obviously about to sign for Chelsea now. 40 million euros, which is decent fee, guys. That's the fee that I thought, and that's a very decent fee. But obviously, we brought in Kirkes as the left back option. I don't think we see Hato as a centre back yet, so that's understandable. We've been linked with Cresswell. I don't know nothing about him. He plays for Strasbourg in France.
You meant the West Ham one?
No. What's his first name, guys? Anyone know his first name?
Charlie, is it?
Charlie Cresswell.
Charlie.
I watched him during the England Under 21 tournament recently, and he was pretty decent. He played alongside Kwanzaa.
Must be good in the air, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's really good in the air. I think he's originally from Leeds, and Leeds sold him to Strasbourg, and he's had a really breakout season in Strasbourg. But I wouldn't put that past us getting Cresswell because he ticks the.
This is my point, Mo. But this is my point, guys. I think right? The last dilemma, drama, transfer, give me that's going to play out. Of course, the Isak is the big one, but I think it's going to be Gahey because I don't think at the moment, and I tweeted it about a couple of weeks back, I don't think we're willing to pay what Palace want, and we've got exactly where we want Gahey. Gahey's got an agreement with us. He's happy with us. He wants us, and that's how we operate. We're saying, okay, the player wants us. Your decision now whether you want him to come for free next season or send him now. That's why I think the Konate situation is key, because then if Konate commits, we may not go for Gahey now. We may go for a Cresswell now, and then Gahey next season when Gomez might be let go. Do you see that happening, Mo? Do you see what I'm saying there, Scouse Mo?
Definitely, I see a vision. I see the way you put that there is really good.
I'll break it down, broski. I'll break it down.
Broke that down really well, man. Kudos. I can't lie. Like Gahey is really, really good. I think he's an excellent centre back. He's really, really comfortable on the ball. He's really good at passing, and he's got that leadership quality as well that we've been talking about. He's been the captain of Crystal Palace now for the past 3 seasons. Like you can't complain with Gahey. Like it makes so much sense, even for the price tag. Like. Is it Crystal Palace only want like 40 mil?
No, they want 50 million plus. We only
Chelsea.
Want to give 40 mil.
Chelsea have a sell-on clause, so they get 20% of whatever Palace get. That's why they're ramping up the price so high.
Yeah.
Chelsea, hold on.
20%.
Luis Bomba. Chelsea have got a sell-on clause on Mark Gahey.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is with this, like we've mentioned this Cresswell, I've never seen him play, to be honest. I genuinely thought you were talking about Aaron Cresswell, the left back. But is he any better than Quansah? Why would we get rid of Quansah and get Cresswell in?
Makes sense, that, lads. Makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't really, like, why would we do that? If we're getting rid of Quansah, the player that's replacing Quansah has to be better than Quansah. And I can't say that this Cresswell is better than Quansah, but I can guarantee right now Gahey is. Gahey is a lot better than Quansah, and he could, as Ben described earlier, slot comfortably into our defense, and he wouldn't look out of place. So for me personally, if we've got rid of Quansah and we've resigned ourselves that we're going to we're going to bring in a new centre back, that centre back has to be someone of the level of Gahey. And then if we bring in Gahey and then Cresswell, cool. I understand, fair enough. Maybe you just got to bring them in as like, as we've described, Gomez can potentially have a long.
We have to replace Gomez and Van Dijk, guys.
Eventually, yeah. So like, it makes sense to have that younger centre back in the squad, maybe like a 5th choice. And it might be opportunities might arise. Let's not forget Konate doesn't have the best injury record as well. Last season, it was great, but usually his injury record's not the best. Gomez, as we've described, he goes out for a very long time. So if something like that happens next season, touch wood, hopefully it doesn't, that Konate and Gomez are out for a while, and you're down with Van Dijk and Gahey, then you're going to potentially need another centre back. So this Cresswell, in that case, would make sense. But if it's just Cresswell and no Gahey, that makes no sense to me. But on top of the Gahey signing, would he? You described earlier, Grizz, that he's happy with the terms. He's happy. He's got an agreement with us. But is he happy to be 3rd choice in a World Cup season, like a World Cup year? Like the World Cup's next season. Is he happy to play 3rd fiddle behind Van Dijk and Konate?
But this is the question. We're Liverpool Football Club. We're expected to play, guys, between us
60 plus games,
60 to 70 games, right?
Yeah.
Palace are probably involved in 38 league games.
Yeah,
Another one, the FA Cup this year. But normally 38 league games and about 5 other games.
Yeah, but they're in Europe this year.
Yeah, but he's going to want to move. He's not going to sign a new.
Get him, he'll be gone. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And he'll still get into the England team because the other options are John Stones, who may or may not be injured, Harry Maguire, Quansah, who's in a bit of bad form. Quansah may be there, given what he's just at the under-21s. But
anybody interested in Quansah?
I read that the other day, and I was like, "What?"
Nah.
I'm not sold on it, to be honest.
I like it. I like it.
It was good about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Me personally, I love Gahey. Gahey just makes so much sense to me. I think the leadership qualities, he's so good on the ball, and I feel like it's a centre back that Slot would really like somebody who's really comfortable on the ball, someone who's able to break the lines with his passing ability. He's able to carry out the ball from the defense as well. He's not the tallest player in the world.
This is where I'm a little bit. My team's getting smaller and smaller, lads.
And that's what I was going to say, Grizz. Like, our team is getting very much smaller and smaller, especially if Szoboszlai is not going to be in that starting 11 much next season.
Oh no, he will be.
Well, who knows? Well,
yeah, it's true. No, but
you know what I mean? Like,
our team's getting.
It is getting smaller.
You know, the average price is reducing. In this league, doesn't matter how good you are, you need to have some physicality. And Man City and Arsenal, forget Arsenal, but Man City have proved this. Man City play all that tiki-taka and possession football, but every single one of them pretty much is a 6-foot beast, you know, guys.
They don't have a Virgil van Dijk though, Chris.
No, but that's why. Yeah, but one Virgil van Dijk can't beat 7, 8, 6-footers. Virgil van Dijk can't mark 3 or 4. And Newcastle game showed it, where we had bloody McAllister trying to cover the bloody big beast that was what's his name, Dan Burns. We need Ibu. Take away Ibu and Virg. Gravenberch is 6 foot, but he's not.
Maybe just signed a 7-foot forward.
Again, he's more of a
flimsy.
Yeah, flimsy, man. He's not a beast.
We need a bit of a beast. Like,
this is where I'm Darwin Núñez fan. I'm not in any way, shape, or form a Darwin Núñez fan. But you know, his defending from set pieces was superb.
Yeah, he's really good.
You know, his near post defending was.
That was another thing, Grizz. Robertson was amazing from post on corners as well, set pieces. We're gonna have to replace that next season. There's so much change next season. Like, we can be excited, but then at the same time, Robertson was really good defensively for us in like our set piece, like defending from corners and set pieces in that front post. That was his position for years.
I think we bring in Guéhi. And I think we have probably I think if we bring in Guéhi, we have the 4 best combined centre backs in Europe.
They've said they're going to sell now, Grizz, as well, because they know.
Name me a better 4 in Europe, guys. I can't think of a better 4. And as I said, Joey Gomez stays fit. I'm so relaxed and calm. Very quickly, I know it wasn't on the agenda, but 3 left backs. What's going on? What are we doing? What are we doing here? No one wants to leave.
I mean, have any offers come in?
No, it doesn't seem it. But Tsimikas is going on like. I love this.
There must be. I think there must have been discussed because Robertson's one with Atletico was dependent on if he was going to stay at the club, like if he knew there was a bit of a future. So I feel like there's been assurances given to him more so than there's been to Tsimikas, because you can get more money for Tsimikas, and Robbo, he's only got what? Is he in the last year of his contract now, or last 2 years or something like that? So I think they've said to him, look, you can just see this year out, go out in the sunset. Tsimikas will get more money, and then we'll go from there.
I think personally that discussion has probably happened with Robertson, whereby we've probably pitched the idea of him potentially playing centre back, because we've seen this preseason.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Last season,
you warning again, aren't we? If we do that,
I think it was the PSV we played away, and he played centre back. I think maybe we've pitched the idea of him being second choice left back and potentially playing that centre back role, and ultimately it's his decision whether he wants to accept that. And if he's okay with doing that, then Tsimikas will be the one to go. Am I comfortable with Robertson playing centre back in any game in the Premier League? Absolutely not, by the way. I'm not comfortable with that at all. But for him to be like maybe a 5th or 6th choice, like a utility player who can play left back, because usually left backs are kind of useless. Like, what else can Tsimikas provide for us? He can't play left mid, he can't play left in the centre midfield, he can't play centre back. But Robertson potentially, maybe in like a League Cup game against, I don't know, like Wycombe Wanderers in the first round, in the 3rd round or whatever, he could play centre half.
He's like your James Milner kind of thing, where it's like, shit, we need someone at left back, get him in.
Get him in, yeah. Just
but I want to be moved on from that. I don't want to be spending 300 million. No, but it's true. I don't want to be spending £300 million in a window and having Robertson at centre back.
No, I'm in agreement, mate. Don't worry.
I'm not saying that. Robertson brings a lot more than just playing, like the leadership skills.
Totally agree with that part.
I just want to say that, and I think obviously the unfortunate events that happened a month ago, I think that's also played a part.
I think so.
Decision making from Liverpool Football Club, whereas they were they were open for Robertson leaving. I think because of those events, they think, no, we need you to stay. We need you to bring these new players, and we need your leadership qualities, and especially what's happened. And I think now they're going to probably focus or try and probably shift Simicast out somewhere, even though he doesn't want to go. But he won't get selected in the 23-man squad, and then he'll soon realise, okay, yeah, maybe I need to start looking for a new club. But I think what happened a month ago with Diogo, rest in peace, I think that's probably influenced the hierarchy's decision.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like we've discussed some of the outgoings already. So if Diaz goes, Nunes goes, Case is gone. We didn't even discuss Elliott. Elliott's potentially gone. Quans already gone. Trent is gone. We're talking about potentially Robertson going. The tragic incident that happened to Jota. He's not part of the squad anymore, unfortunately.
Well, when I asked you for topics, why didn't you suggest it then, Clever Clogs? Why are you suggesting?
I was busy.
What's the matter with you? When I asked you, right? Now it's 1 hour 6 minutes. Ben's about to start sleepwalking over in Dubai because it's 1 o'clock in the morning or something, right? He's starting his sleepwalk, right? And now you want to bring up Elliott and the squad players.
It's not my fault.
I think we'll have more clarification on the squad after they've played and they've had a chat with Slot. Next week's agenda, Scouse Mo, if you can make yourself available and we talk about the squad games, right? We'll talk about not squid games, we'll talk about squad games, right? And we'll talk about Elliott and Cole because you're right. We haven't even touched upon the squad. But people, time has flown. It's 1 hour, 7 minutes. As I said, Ben's messaging me in private saying, hurry up, son. He's not.
He was looking down as you said that then as well.
I can't even look at my Apple Watch for getting dragged into something.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm starving. It's me. I'm making excuses. I'm absolutely starving. I've got a pizza from Costco that I'm gonna tuck into. Don't doubt Costco's pizza, guys.
Costco's pizza's great.
Lovely.
It's banging. The margarita from Costco is absolutely banging, and it's huge. Oh, sorry, it's huge. Just like the summer, people. Huge summer continues for Liverpool. We have brought in 4. We are looking to bring in a minimum of 2/3 players, and I think they're all going to be fantastic additions. I think we've gone for quality and quantity, and not many windows and not many teams can say that around the world. Quality and quantity. People talking about quality and quantity. Huge numbers today. We're growing. We love your support. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like if you haven't. Make sure you go and check out Red or Alive TV, Ben's channel. Make sure you go and check out Beyond the Cop and go and follow Mo and go and follow the 2 Mo's on Twitter as well. And yeah, we will see you next week. I don't know about the panel, the performance. Let me know about their performance in the YouTube comments. Should I replace anyone? Let me know. People, like, subscribe, enjoy the rest of the window because there is so much to enjoy. We look forward. We'll probably discuss the preseason friendly on AC Milan because it's a high caliber friendly as opposed to
Stoke.
As opposed to some of the lads wanted to discuss Stoke in a preseason. Anyway, we won't go there. This has been Red Room. I don't know what episode I should count. Over and out. Take care. Love you all.